All right, let's talk about a wild cat that's basically a real-life superhero. We're talking part high jumper, part stealth bomber, and just all attitude. Yep, today we're diving deep into the world of the Caracal. So let's get one thing straight right off the bat. A lot of people call this cat the desert lynx. I mean, look at those ears, right? It's an easy mistake to make, but here's the thing. It's not actually a lynx. Nope. Genetically, it's way closer to animals like the African golden cat and the serval. Kind of surprising, huh? And that brings us to its real name. Caracal actually comes from a Turkish word, karkulak, which literally means black ear. And for this cat, the name is everything. You'll see that those ears, they are the absolute key to unlocking what makes this animal so special. Okay, let's get into it. The cat with black ears. We're going to break down what makes this feline a true master of its environment. You know, when you look at a caracal, you're looking at a perfectly engineered machine. It has this slender but super muscular build. Its coat? Oh, that's just some of the best camouflage in the business. This perfect reddish tan or sandy color. And its legs? Check this out. The hind legs are actually longer than the front, basically like a set of coiled springs just waiting to explode into action. And if you look closer, it gets even more amazing. I mean, look at that face. Those black markings aren't just for show, you know. They're actually used for communication. But the real stars, of course, are those iconic ears. And believe me, they are way more than just a cool-looking accessory. So, with a body built like that, you'd expect some serious athletic skills, right? Well, you'd be correct. Let's talk about nature's super athlete. First up, speed. We're talking about an animal that is basically a missile. In a short burst, a caracal can hit 50 miles per hour. 50! Just imagine trying to outrun that. Most of its prey doesn't stand a chance. But as fast as it is on the ground, its real superpower might just be in the air. This is incredible. From a dead stop, a caracal can leap more than 10 feet straight up. Think about that, 10 feet. It's famous for swatting birds right out of the sky. It's like a furry, four-legged anti-aircraft weapon. And it's not all just flashy moves either. This cat has some serious strength. We're talking about a predator that can take down prey 2, even 3 times its own body weight. It's just a little powerhouse. Okay, so we've got speed, we've got agility, we've got power. But that's only half the story. You need the right tools for the job, right? So let's unpack the Caracal's Precision Hunter's Toolkit. This is where things get really high-tech. Those ears, they're controlled by 20 different muscles. Each one can move independently, like a little satellite dish, to pinpoint the tiniest sound. Those tufts on the end, people think they act like extra whiskers, helping them hunt silently and maybe even communicate. Then you've got amazing low-light vision, and even the paws are specialized. Stiff hairs between the pads muffle their footsteps. It's the whole package for a stealth predator. So let's see how it all works together. Picture this. First, there's the silent stalk, inching closer and closer until it's just a few meters away. Then, bam, an explosive chase. If the prey is a bird, you get that famous acrobatic leap, and it all ends with a quick, precision bite right to the neck. It's just a masterclass in efficiency. But you know, life in the wild isn't just about hunting. Sometimes you're the one being hunted. So what's the Caracal's go-to defense move? It's simple, but brilliant. It's camouflage. That plain, sandy coat is just perfect. It can lie flat in the grass or scrubland and just disappear. It literally melts into the background. Okay, we've seen the hunter up close. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. The life of a solitary survivor. And man, this cat gets around. Its range is huge. We're talking Africa, the Middle East, all the way over to Central Asia and India. It's super adaptable, preferring drier woodlands and savannas, but you can find them way up in the mountains too. They're not big fans of super sandy deserts or really dense rainforests, but pretty much everything in between is fair game. What a survivor. But even though they live all over the place, they live there alone. Caracals are classic solitary hunters. They're very territorial and pretty much keep to themselves. The only real exceptions are when they come together to mate, or, of course, when a mother is raising her kittens. And speaking of males and females, they're not quite the same. The males are noticeably bigger and heavier, but the really big difference is their territory. A female might have a home range of around, say, 50 square kilometers. A male His territory can be massive, sometimes over 300 square kilometers, and it'll usually overlap with the home ranges of a few different females. So you might be asking, why does any of this matter? Well, it matters a lot. The caracal is what we call a key predator. It plays a huge role in keeping the ecosystem in balance. By hunting things like rodents, hares, and small antelope, it stops their populations from getting out of control. It's a natural pest controller, really. And here's a cool little tidbit for you. You know that saying to put the cat among the pigeons? Well, it's thought that phrase actually comes from ancient Persia and India, where royalty would literally use trained caracals to hunt birds for sport. Makes sense, right? With that crazy vertical leap? All right, for our last section, let's talk about caracals and people. It's a really long and honestly complicated history that's taken some pretty dramatic turns. I mean, just look at this journey. In ancient Egypt, they were so revered, you'd find sculptures of them guarding the tombs of pharaohs. In Persia and India, they were the hunting companions of royalty, but flash forward to the modern era, and now they're often seen as pests by farmers because they sometimes prey on small livestock. So today, they face these huge threats from habitat loss and, just this direct conflict with humans. So what does this mean for their survival? Well, on paper, the global conservation status is least concern, which sounds good, but the devil's in the details. When you look closer, region by region, the picture gets a lot more worrying. They're considered threatened in North Africa, threatened in the Middle East, and threatened across much of their range in Asia. So least concern doesn't really tell the full story. So it leaves us with this one big question. This animal is a master of survival. It has adapted and thrived for millions of years. But can it adapt to its biggest challenge yet? Sharing the planet with us? How we answer that will really decide the future of this incredible cat.